Berg Zayin Halacha Beis. Anavim Me'oilo Malos Hein. The prophets have different levels. Chacham Godol Mechavero. Just like with wisdom, there are those who are greater than others. Kach Nevuah. So too with prophecy, Navi Godol Minovi. There are prophets who are greater than the other prophets, and both of them are prophets, but not on the same level. The Kulam, except for Moshe Rabbeinu, Ein Roin Mara Nevuah, do not see the sight of the prophecy, Ela B'chaloim, only in a dreams, B'chazion Lailo, in the midst of the night, or Beyoim, or by day, Acha Shetipol Alein Tademo, after they have fallen to a deep slumber. Moshe Omar, Shenema, as it says on the prophets, B'mare Elov Esvado, B'chaloim Adar Beboy, as it says, with this, a sign, with a, I will know myself to him, and in a dream I shall speak to him. So the Miguel always points out that God's only seen to a prophet in a dream is only by the prophets of the world, like Avimelech, Lavan, and Bilam, and also Avram before he was circumcised. But when he was circumcised, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed himself to Avram by day and even while he was awake. Even Gideon and others that were on a lower level, HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed himself to them by day and when they were awake. And that's called the level of prophecy Mara, a sight. And the difference between the prophecies of Moshe Rabbeinu was still to the other prophets of Klal Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu saw everything with a very great clarity. But the other prophets, they saw it with not that great clarity. As the Gemara, this is the language of the Gemara, Yevamos 49b. The Kulon, that means the majority of them, Shemisnavin, Evrahim is Dazen, when they are saying prophecy, their limbs shake. Kech Haguf Kosher, the strength of their body is very weak. Ash Tanoisehem Mistrafefes, and their thoughts become confused. So that their knowledge, their intelligence will be vacant for only the purpose of the prophecy. As we find by Avram, by Bisman Absalom, Vina Emach HaShecha Gedolon Nefelos Olav. And behold, a fear, a darkness, a very great darkness falls upon him. And that's the reason why they call the Novi Meshuga Ish Haruach. That he's not with his full faculties when he has he's a man of spirit. But there were prophets that were able to do it in a standing fashion. Like Avram, after he was circumcised, he was sitting at the entrance of the tent in the heat of the day, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed himself to him. So too, Klal Yisrael at the time of Kriyas Yamsuf, and at times, even the lower level of the prophets, like Manoach and Gideon, saw by day and didn't have this trembling. And we find, by the Nil, my glory, my physical being, turned to be against me as a destruction, meaning as if it was no longer there, and I didn't have any strength. From this we see that the limbs of a Novi become shaken or unresponsive, and the body becomes weak. Rambam explains in Peirush HaMeir and Sanhedrin and Nevuchim this thought. Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah Perek Zayin Halacha Gimel. Advam Moidim the Novi b'Mara Nevuah, that which is shown to the Novi through a vision, it's in a simile. We go to the Peirush, and immediately his heart tells him the explanation of what he sees in the sight of the prophecy. And and he knows what it's meant to convey. It's like the ladder that Yaakov Avinu saw, Malachim Oidim v'Yordim Boy, that the angels were going up and coming down. and this represents the kings that would reign over Klal Yisrael and how the exile would take place. As Chazal say in Peirush Rebbe, that the Malachim going up and going down, it means the different kingdoms. First he saw the Babel, went up for 70 steps, and he came down for the 70 years of kingdom of Babel. After that he saw the Tsar of Persia go up and Mordai go up 52 years. And 52 steps and came down. That's the Peirush of Mordai. And then he saw the Tsar of Yavon go up 180 steps and come down. But when he saw the Tsar of Edom go up, he didn't see him come down. We also find this with regard to the angels, which are called Chayos, that Yecheskel saw, that he saw the divine presence was on the divine shiur with the Chayos, and at that point he understood the hint of what he was seeing, and this is called Maisa Markova, as we learned in the first two chapters, which are very deep. Chazal gave us some of what is meant within it. In the Zohar Kodesh, we find Yecheskel told Klal Yisrael how the heaven above is seen in order to strengthen their hearts, that they should know that even when they're in the exile, the Shekhinah, the entire hosts comes down with them, as it says, I come down to you with you in your trouble. The Gemara Megillah 29 says, Tanya, said, see how beloved are Klal Yisrael before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Wherever they went into Golus, the Shekhinah was with them. And also the swollen pot and the stick that was growing things that Yirmiyahu said. Here the Rambam changed around the order. Before there he saw first the stick and afterwards the swollen pot. These two things of Nevuah that Yirmiyahu said, both of them come to tell us in the future that the stick is to tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is working continuously to come to the end, and the swollen pot is that from the north, suffering, the evil shall come. As it continues over there, that the face of it was pointed, of the swollen pot from overheating was facing the north. Megillah Yecheskel, and the scroll that Yecheskel saw, and there it said within it, Kinim v'Hege v'Nei, that the troubles of the tzaddikim in this world, that's the reward in the world to come, and what the Rishonim receive their suffering in the world to come. The Eva Shiro Zachariah, and the measure, or the amount of measure that Zachariah saw, and he understood that it means that he will be punished on theft, just as one retribution in the same fashion that they did it. That tells us that the 10 Shvotim, they will not come back from Eretz Yisrael, but will be lost among the nations. And so to the other prophets, even though it doesn't say exactly, they also saw the Moshel, and they understood the explanation. It said there were among them those who saw both the simile, tell us about it, the simile and an explanation, like Yecheskel, Yirmiyahu, Zechariah, that tells us both everything. There are those who tell us only what the prophecy was without the example. And sometimes they just say what they see without explaining it. like we find in Yecheskel, Uzechalia, and also Zechalia that Rashi writes that it's closed because it has visions similar to a dream, which is given to different interpretations, and we can't know which is the true interpretation until we will be told so by Mashiach. And all of them have a simile, and it's said in words that are in poetic. They are told. We wrote that when the Nevi'im say that they saw a fiery angel with wings, that's just a simile, and to explain it, because the angels are, as we said, have no actual, they have a certain being to them, but it doesn't have a physical being. And Moshe comes to tell us that fire is not heavy; it always goes up above. So to the angels, they have no weight to them because they are just what you see without any physical being to them. And though it says that he's like fire which has no inner being to it. So you have the example and the essence of what wants to be transmitted to you from the prophet.